Welcome to the next level of Excel. We're going to talk about manipulating data in a spreadsheet. Before you can start manipulating, you got to make sure that you have your organization of your spreadsheet set the way that you'd like. There's a bunch of different ways that you can use Excel to organize data as a list, a table, or a matrix. But if you're manipulating data, you're going to be using formulas. There's some financial, statistical, math, logic, date and time calculations. And if you use the date and time calculations, be careful. The way that Excel handles date and time might give you results that you are not expecting. For the formats, they're the number and the percentage, probably what you're going to use the most. They are right in here. There is some date and there is some time, and it's no different than formatting for font. Once you have some data in your cell, you can set the format. And if you are going to be building a formula, you start by putting in an equal sign into the formula bar. This is the formula bar, there's an equal sign. You put some stuff in here and Excel recognizes there is going to be some calculations done. This is not text. Formulas can be discovered in this area here. It keeps track of the ones that you've used recently. It also lists all the ones that are possible, and there are a ton. We'll probably use the sum and the average in this activity. But before we get there, there's a little bit of discussion in activity 1 about operator precedence. If you're using bed mass or maybe head mass, Excel does it a little bit differently. It starts on the left, it moves to the right. And so for this equation here, I've asked you, does it equal 11 or 15? Try it with a calculator. See if you can get 11 or 15, and then think through what is the right way. Windows 7, you're going to find calculator under accessories, and you can use that one so you don't have to use your phone. We're going to do one with Excel, so copy it out and make a new worksheet, put it in A10, and this is what a formula looks like. So it's saying that cell A1 is going to be subtracted from cell A2, which is going to be multiplied by A3, which has been divided by A4, which is all added to A5 and subtracted by A6. I say yes, that's the formula I want, and I get an error. Div 0, because none of these cells have values. As soon as they do, oh, there's a problem. It gives me some math. I'll make it bigger so we can see what's going on. I've talked about cell references here, and I suggest that you use the F4 button to accomplish it. Right here, this is a cell reference. If I hit F4, this becomes an absolute cell reference. I'd like to do them all. So now they are all absolute. And what this allows us to do when we copy is to maintain the formula that we've typed in. If I don't have cell references, hit the F4 button, there we go. Excel automatically increments our formula, assuming that we wish to add up the next cell. Pretty clever. It does it both ways can make your life easier depending on how you use it. But maybe I'll demonstrate this. If I change that value here, you'll notice that it changes this one but not that one. If I do have an absolute cell reference here, and I copy it down here, you'll notice that it does maintain the integrity of our formula, which can make your life a lot easier. There are some built-in functions. They're located right up in here. There's sum and average. We're going to use both of those. There's some more in here if you need them. I showed you some of the common problems. The reference error is one that's a bit funny. If you accidentally delete a cell that's used in a formula, it will tell you, I don't know which cell you want to use. You can just correct it. There you go, it's corrected. All right, the actual activities for marks. Budget math, we're going to use a little budget worksheet that you had set up in the last activity, and we're going to calculate profit and debt over a 3-month period. So go back to your monthly expenses, and I can change this to a month, and we can duplicate this over 3 months. And we're going to need the total for your income and your expenses. And your net profit or debt. So for these, we have to add up. Well, hold up, we need income, so we need another category. Let's say that I get paid minimum wage. It's about $10.50 an hour. It's 40 hours in a week. It's 4 weeks in a month. And I should make that look the same as these. Should make that look the same as that. If we had maybe a gift, maybe have investments, maybe had a birthday, we have something to add up now. I suppose it would probably make more sense to put them under here. And now we can use that sum built-in function to add up our income. And we do the same thing for our expenses. And the total here would be your income subtracted from, I did that wrong, your expenses. That I can copy it over. That gives us over your 3-month period. It's all done. Could probably look a little nicer, so we'll spend a little bit of time to make it pretty. Give it some color, give it some grids. And I suppose it would make sense to do the same thing here. The grid, some color. All right, that accomplishes activity 2. Move on to activity 3. We need a chart to illustrate the percentage of your expenses from your monthly budget. We don't know the average yet, so we have to calculate it. Luckily, there's a built-in function for average. There we go. We can make this look a little bit nicer. Just to mimic the color we have there. Maybe we need some grids. We would like that to be bold. We want it to be looking really nice. Alright, and we need a pie chart. So if we select our expenses and the amount, we insert chart. There we go. And then I needed some percentages in there too. Right? Percentage of your average monthly expenses. On my version of Excel, this is from Office 2016. That would be how I'd accomplish it. For the Office 2013 that we have in the lab, it's older. I honestly think it's set up better. There are 3 different menus once you've selected your chart, and one of them has the data labels, and you can set if they're going to be in the center of the circle or on the edge of the circle. As well, you can choose to have a chart title. This would be month expenses, and you can choose to have an exploded 3D chart. In Office 2016, you have to do it a little bit differently. It's debatable whether 2016 is better for all of their choices, but I think that 2013 does a better job of the charts, honestly. But anyways, that's the setup for this activity, and if you would be so kind as to give me some evidence of your chart and your table in an email message, you'll get some marks.